Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, and I'm here for another terrific Tuesday video. Today I'm going to share with you another technique that I created using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. Now this stamp set is a stamp set that's currently available in our new annual catalog. If you do not yet have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I encourage you to check out my website at kimsbasementbunch.com, and there'll be a spot there for you to join my mailing list, and you can also email me and ask me to send you a copy of that current catalog absolutely free. This is actually my video last week also showcased using the stamp set and a different technique, and so when I had everything out, I decided to create another fun one. This one is referred to as the dryer sheet technique, and it's really popular at Christmas time. I'm not sure if you can see the pretty little sparkle of the glitter in this card, but I love it. And this is actually a used dryer sheet taken right out of my dryer that I used to make this card. And my dryer sheet is big enough that I'm able to do 2 cards out of one of them. So I'm going to focus mainly on the technique of this card and not going to spend too much time on how I put it all together, because I think a lot of it is just simple layering. I will have all of the measurements for this card in the on my blog post, and that is description, or that link to my blog post is in the description of this video, so feel free to check that out. There's also going to be a spot on my website to join my mailing list, and I send out free tutorials every Friday, and so I'd love to have you be a part of that, in addition to my offering of local classes and online classes. So I encourage you to check it out. I would love to have you be part of it and join in all the fun. So without any further ado, let me show you how I created this card. Now this has got lots of layering on this, so I want to tell you the colors of cardstock that I used to create this card. I started with a piece of the brand new, this is the spruced, I forget the name of it exactly, but it's the new spruce cardstock, and I will find that for you and put it in the description. And this has got 5.5 by 8.5, and it's simply folded in half, and that is the base. And then I have used, for my matting purposes, just to bring in all the colors of what I've used in my card, I brought in Lemon Lime Twist. This is cut 5.5 by 4.25, and then Mossy Meadow is back, and I'm so excited to have Mossy Meadow back. That's a really nice Christmas one. And this is cut 5 by 3.75. And then my Whisper White piece that I'm going to be using today to do the technique on is cut 4.75 by 3.5. So each one of these mats goes down 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put all of the other pieces to the side, and I'm going to focus in on this little white piece here. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to do any of your stamping. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to leave my card in here so you can kind of see it as I stamp along with you. If you haven't seen our new styles of ink pads yet, this is what they look like. And our new Stampin' Up! Ink pads open like a compact. So they just simply pull open like this, and then they slide. And they can be kind of tight at first when you first get them, but by using them, you will definitely break them in no time at all. And I'm using some of the trees from the that Rooted in Nature stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp onto this piece. So I am going to take the time to do that. Let me bring this up here so you guys can see it. I am going to just move my card out of the way. So there is my first tree. And then I am going to be stamping the 2 little trees. And I don't know why I like to do that at a side, but I do. I'm stamping my 2 little trees down here, also in the Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to stamp the one right here in the middle using the Lemon Lime Twist. Now this is the old style where I have to, you know, push to open it up. And I'm going to bring in this little tree. I'm just going to stamp him right in there. So there it is, all of the stamping that I'm going to do. Oh, I need to stamp my thinking of you. So let me get this ready to stamp on the top. And this one, I'm going to do the thinking of you using the Lemon Lime Twist instead of my Mossy Meadow. So there's my stamping. You can see it looks pretty similar to my card. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to use a glue stick. Now, Stampin' Up! No longer sells glue sticks. An Elmer's glue stick would work just as well as what I'm going to be using. I'm using an old glue stick that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. And what you're going to do is you are going to adhere glue all the way to the front of this. You do want to make sure that this is good and dry though before you do that, okay? So otherwise when you go to adhere your glue, it could smear this. So I am going to adhere this glue stick all over on the front of this. So this is why it's really imperative that you do any of your stamping first. Now this does get kind of a messy technique because you want to make sure you get glue on all of those corners. Otherwise your dryer sheet is not going to stick to them. So like I said, it can get a little messy. And I have applied that glue pretty liberally onto that. Now this is again a dryer sheet from my dryer. It needs to be a used dryer sheet, otherwise the glitter will not stick to it after you adhere it. So from here I am just wiping onto this, putting that dryer sheet on here and kind of pushing it kind of flat. And I'm going to make sure that it sticks really well to those corners. Okay, and then I'm going to carefully, notice I say carefully because it's sticking to the piece of paper. Pick this up, and again, I'm going to make sure that that is really good and stuck. And it takes a little while with my glue stick to get that to stick really good, but... And then following that, I am just going to trim away with a pair of paper snips all of the excess that is on this. I'm cutting this around all the edges. And this cuts really quick, really fast, because it's, you know, very, very thin. Again, this is a card that it takes a little bit of patience with because, again, I'm doing this kind of in a hurry for the purposes of my video, but you want to make sure that you have that that dryer sheet good and secure on all those edges. So let me get out all those excess. So there you have this little focal point. From there, I'm going to be using the Stampin' Up! Dazzling Diamonds glitter. And I love this glitter. I'm telling you, there's no glitter quite like it. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to, I think, just use the glitter that I have in here from when I made my sample. And you're just going to put some glitter down over top of this card. And it is going to adhere into this. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I am going to get off all the excess, though, because I don't want to have all that mess. So I'm just kind of tapping my cardstock here, but look at how beautiful that is. I have needed a little bit more down there on the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of scoop that in there as well. Again, shaking off all my excess. But look at how beautiful that technique is. Isn't that beautiful? So can you see why this technique is really nice at Christmas time? Because you could, if you know, with some snowflake stamps and some trees, really make a really pretty, snowfall scene. I just think it is gorgeous. So from there, and I'm just going to make sure I get all the glitter off. All I did is I layered this on top of my other pieces. Now I found it easier to actually put the adhesive onto these other pieces so that I didn't have to turn that glitter piece completely upside down. So that is what I'm going to do in purposes of today's video as well. And then I adhered this one down to my Mossy Meadow. You can see that these colors that I'm adding just bring it to life because it's incorporating all those colors that I have inside of that stamping that I did on the card itself. And I'm going to adhere that. Now I'm not going to take the time to do this in my video, but what I did do before I adhere this down to my actual card, what I did do is I wrapped some linen thread around the bottom of it, and then I put one of these little trinkets. Now these trinkets I also used in last week's project. These are called the leaf trinkets, and they come in both copper tone and in the silver tone, and they're nice and flat. So these you could easily mail in the regular mail and not have to pay anything additional for postage, and it adds a nice little embellishment to your card. And so I added one of those to the bottom, and I also put a little bow there with that linen thread as well. But isn't that card just darling? I absolutely love it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and today's technique. I encourage you to check out my website at kimsbasementbunch.com for all the details regarding this card and all of the other offerings that I offer regarding online classes, free tutorials, and anything else that you might need for your inspiration. So thanks for stopping today, and I look forward to having you back here next week. Have a great day.